We at Value Research always discourage you to borrow money for consumption. And we always encourage you to invest for the long term. We encourage you to invest for the short term or medium term in an appropriate manner. But just in case you are faced with an emergency and you have your own money lying there, can you leverage it?
Hello and welcome to Investors Hangout. This weekly interaction to help you learn and understand savings and investment issues is brought to you by Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund and Value Research. So have you ever thought what would you do if you needed money in an emergency? Well, mutual fund investors can definitely pull out their investments and use it, but that will interrupt the magic of compounding that their investments would otherwise get. So is there anything else that you can do? Well, you can also take loan against your mutual funds without sacrificing the growth potential of your investments. We'll tell you all about it in today's episode. Keep watching.
When you invest in mutual fund for the long term, the money compounds and you are able to convert your small savings, regular small savings, into something sizable. And the whole idea of converting small savings invested and compounding at a higher rate, and that turns out to be a very sizable capital in relation to the money that you're putting in. And the magic of compounding, it multiplies 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line. It looks very substantial. So letting your disciplined regular savings being put to work, and that gradual investments turning into sizable capital, that magic of compounding gets triggered over a period of time. First, you will realize in the first 1 or 2 years, 3 years, that you have the money which you never had in the first place. Then you will realize that the money that got accumulated, which you invested, once it starts getting compounding at a higher rate of return, which typically happens in a 3-5 years time period, the market takes care of itself. Despite all the ups and downs, it does better than what you get in a bank, and that is a higher rate of return. So the magic of compounding, one should, if you are onto it, never disrupt it. In case of an emergency, if you are likely to need money and it is a short-term money, then there are ways of meeting that goal, assuming that you have invested or accumulated 5-10 lakh rupees and you need 1 lakh of rupees for 3 months. Then you can, without disturbing your investment plan, without disturbing or, without triggering any tax payment or, withdrawal, because the moment you take your money out, you are liable to pay taxes on the gains that you have earned on your investment. And those gains are acknowledged for paying taxes only when you realize it. So selling your investments will amount to recognizing those gains. Only in case it is going to be a short-term one. You are likely to need money for just 1 month or 2 months, and beyond that you are likely to repay that. Then you can easily borrow against your mutual fund. Today there are mechanisms possible. There are lenders of money to whom you can put your mutual fund as a collateral. And you can borrow money, they can lend you money, and that process can be done digitally. Because the mutual fund holding is entirely digital, they will put a lien on your investment, which means that till the time you have borrowed money, you cannot sell your investments. And you can take up to 45% of your accumulated money in equities and nearly 75-80% into fixed income. And today the process has become very smooth because all your investments in mutual fund, the records are kept by the registrars. They are able to put a lien so that they have a recourse, and they are able to lend that money. They are able to put that money to the extent you want to borrow in your bank account in a time frame of anywhere between half an hour to 3 hours, and that happens at a great speed. The important don't is that if you are likely to borrow this money and it could turn out to, there is a possibility that it will turn out to be a long-term borrowing, then never do that. That is against the very basic rule that no one should ever borrow money to invest, and it will actually amount to that. If it is going to be a short-term one, then only consider doing it. Otherwise, redeem your investment and spend that money because it's your money. Why incur cost on borrowing if you can actually put your money to work? So do it only in case of emergency and do it only for the short term. And the other don't is that you should make sure that you are able to do the shopping of the lowest possible cost of borrowing this money. So if you consider doing something where borrowing this money, if you are able to borrow it at 9% or 9.25%, not beyond that in today's context.
Well, that's all we have for you in today's episode. Keep watching the space for more information. If you like the show, do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Take care. Bye for now.